Hey, happy Monday to you. Welcome to a beginning of the week version of 5 Minutes with Phil. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I really hope that you had a great weekend and that it was a blessing to you. And now here we are starting off a brand new work week. And what better way than to unpack God's word first to see what the Lord has to say to all of us. And that's what we're going to do here this morning. So I want to direct you today to the book of Psalms, Psalm chapter 5. And we're going to read the first 3 verses of Psalm chapter 5. And the psalmist is talking about those times that we bring our prayer requests to God and kind of there's a phrase here that I really want to emphasize here for all of us that I think would be extremely helpful as we kind of process this thing of giving our needs and everything to the Lord. So why don't you take a look at this verse with me and let's unpack it together, okay? Or Psalm chapter 5, starting in verse 1, and here's what it says. Listen to my words, Lord. Consider my lament. Hear my cry for help, my King and my God, for to you I pray. In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my request before you and wait expectantly. Now, did you see that part that I underlined? David said, I lay my request before you and then I wait expectantly. Now, I love this attitude that David has as he's bringing his prayer to the Lord. Because what he's saying here is that, okay, all right, God, I've got my requests. And he even uses the word lament. Okay, so there's some sadness that David is going through here. So it's not kind of one of those pick-me-up kind of times for David. I mean, he's it seems like he's going through some stuff. And as he is praying, he ends this section here by saying, okay, I'm going to lay my request to you, and then I'm going to wait. And it's that word expectantly that comes up. You know, I love how David has this attitude of, God, I expect you to do something. And not, David's not saying, you better do what I say. Okay, so he's not like forcing God to do anything because we can't do that. All right. But David knew who God was. And in fact, he even recognized him as his Lord and as his King and as his God. And I think as he is becoming more familiar with how great and powerful and how awesome the Lord is, then he's able to make the statement, Lord, you know what? When I bring my request to you, there's an expectation that I have that you're going to answer. And I want to encourage you today that whatever's on your heart, whatever's on your mind, when you lay your request to the Lord, you have an attitude of expectation that can immediately follow that. And I think some people, when they pray, they kind of say their prayer and then they kind of cross their fingers and think, boy, I hope that worked. And that wasn't David's attitude at all, and nor should that be our attitude. Our attitude should be, okay, Lord, I know what your word says. And I know what you're able to do because I know all about you. I know how great you really are. And so based on that knowledge, and based on what your word says, and based on what I know about you, and based on what I've seen you do for me in the past, and based on what I've seen you do for other people, I can bring you my requests. I can bring you my hurts. I can bring to you my crisis and my difficulty. And when I lay that at your feet, Jesus, when I bring that to you, then I expect you to heal and provide and to come through for me and to restore and to give me favor. I expect that. Because that's what you're all about. So today when you pray, today when you find yourself asking God for anything, would you couple that with an attitude of expectancy? that he will once again be true to his word and to who he really is. And I hope that blesses you today. All right, gotta let you go. Love you. Thank you for joining me, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.